Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Out of the Panchakoshas, we have seen four of them. Annamaya Kosh is the outermost, then Pranamaya Kosh is the supporting one, then Manomaya Kosh is the instrument of experience, then Vijnanamaya Kosh is a personality building instrument, Karta, the doer. And after that, we were told the body, Annamaya Kosh is inert, Pranamaya Kosh is inert, Manomaya Kosh is inert. Inert means what? That in which experiences do not influence. Like this table is inert. So whether we keep here a flower pot or a shoe or cut it, it makes no difference. So also the body. Body also doesn't have any experience. Although the body is cut, the body doesn't suffer. It is the mind that suffers. Similarly, prana is also inert because it is controlled by the controller. Then the mind also is inert because if there is misery or joy, mind is able to eliminate both of them only because the mind doesn't get influence. Then the intellect is also inert. Now here is the small little secret. It is only in the intellect that the consciousness reflects as the Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is like the reflection of the sun in a bucket of water. Now if you take that example, you'll come to know the sun and the sunlight are illuminating the bucket, the water in the bucket. But what is the difference with the water? That sun disk reflects only in the water, not in the bucket. Exactly the same way, consciousness does not reflect as Chidabhasa. Abhasa means appearance. Like Premabhasa. I love you. Premabhasa. It's an illusion. Nobody loves anybody in this world. So, this abhasa is what? When the sun reflects in the waters, the water itself doesn't have the ability to illuminate others. But the reflected disk of the sun in the water, from there the light comes out. So as if the water is reflecting. If this example is clear, exactly the same way, consciousness is everywhere. It is in this also. But here consciousness cannot express as Chidabhasa, therefore this is inert. Is only the intellect. Now what is the reason? The reason is, it is the speciality of that instrument. Why we can see only with the eyes? Why can't we taste with the eyes? Take chutney and put in your eyes and experience. See? So this question is redundant, no meaning to that. So after this intellect is associated with the reflection of the consciousness as Chidavasa, then it becomes enlivened. And that enlivened intellect has a sense of doership. So this intellect we have seen yesterday, now it is enlivened. Now this enlivened intellect becomes identified with the mind. So what is the mind? Joy, sorrows. When it gets identified with it, becomes I am joyful, I am sorrowful. Then the same enlivened intellect gets identified with the prana. I am hungry, I am thirsty. The same intellect gets identified with the body. I am man, I am woman, I am young, I am old. And when this intellect dissolves back to the Anandamaya Kosha, be attentive. Means what? To understand this, take an example. This is also very subtle. Many people miss this point when they study. We have seen the mirror. Mirror has only one side which can reflect. The back side of the mirror is the mercury oxide. It is only support, because of which in that glass the ability to reflect in the form of a mirror happens. So if that mirror is reflecting, if the mirror is facing the world, what will we see in the mirror? Reflection of the world. Now the same mirror, when it is facing our face, will we ask, just now I have seen the reflection in the mirror, now where it has gone? We will not ask that question. Then what will we see in the mirror? Our own face. If this example is clear, in the same manner, when the Vijnanamaya Kosha is extrovert and looking at the mind, the prana and the body, the world is created. In the same Vijnanamaya Kosha, like the mirror, becomes introvert, the whole world disappears. And this is what we do, every one of us. What is going to sleep? Turn the Vijnanamaya Kosha from outside to inside. And what is inside? Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Ananda hi Ananda. And therefore in that Vijnanamaya Kosha, now the Ananda is reflected. Therefore it is called as Anandamaya Kosha. And this Ananda in the deep sleep is not permanent. It comes and goes and depends on the position of the Vijnanamaya Kosha. What is Brahmananda? Which is uncreated, which is not limited, which doesn't end, and which doesn't have degrees. See? These are the Panchakoshas. When we are thus clear about it, then only we can start working on it. And what to work? Only one thing, that the Absolute is expressing through these Panchakoshas. So it is expression of the consciousness as life. What is called as Jiva Na. Na means not. There is no Jiva. Jiva Na, no. Only life. And this life principle is everywhere the same. See, this example I had given some places. In Delhi, it was a rainy day. I was sitting in the veranda with my friend and had a nice cup of tea. And heavily raining outside. So I was enjoying the rains from outside, from inside the house. So because it was evening time and the tube lights were on, so many insects gathered. So one small lizard, Chipkali, came and she was so happy to see what a lovely dinner. And she stood and started Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam, and then wanted to eat one of the insects. When it bounced at that insect ran away. And this was seen by a Dada Chipkala, a very strong lizard. Now it started going towards the small one. You are coming in my area? And therefore the small Chipkali also frightened and went away. So the fear for the insect, the fear for the small Chipkali, small lizard. When I was looking at it, the big Chipkali, when it came, I was thinking it falls, which is a problem for me. So I took a stick and started touching it. So that also ran. Expression of fear is common everywhere. And when the big lizard ran, then the small lizard got frightened as if the big one is going to attack the small. And in that fear, it jumped and it fell down on my hand. Then I also ran away. That day I discovered this principle. Expression of life is common. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Is it not? All the eyes, they only see. Where is the difference? See, my friends. So instead of recognizing the life as a life principle, we get lost into individuality. Therefore, this particular knowledge is essential for evolution. So, Lina Supto Vapur Bodhe Vyapnuyad Anakagraga Chichayo Peta Dhirnatma Vijnanamaya Shabda Bhag. Now, this Buddhi, intellect, is Vyapnuyad Anakagraga. From the top to the toe, the Buddhi is totally permeating, and this is called as the Vijnanamaya if there is the reflection of consciousness in the form of the Chidabhasa. So, after having said this, now we go to the next step. Kartrutva Karnatvaabhyam Vikriyatan Indriyam Vijnana Manasi Antar Bahishchaite Parasparam. Kartrutva Karnatvaabhyam. Two things. Whenever Bhyam comes, it is a dual case. So, say Sita Ramachandrabhyam Namaha. So here, Kartrutva is in Vijnanamaya Kosha. Karana, the instrument, is the Manomaya Kosha. See? The Vijnanamaya Kosha, where there the Chidabhasa has become enlivened. I am seeing, I am doing, I am watching, I am not listening. See? I. So, Kartrutva and Karanatva Vikriyeta Indriyam, Antar Indriyam. So, in this manner, the inner instrument, Antakarana, has got now these two faculties. One aspect is the doership, other aspect is the instrument. And Vijnana Manasi, therefore, Vijnanamaya and Mano, Antar Bahishchete Parasparam. Therefore, Manomaya Kosha is outside and Vijnanamaya Kosha is inside. Here also I told inside means what? Controller. Colors and forms are controlled by the vision. Vision is controlled by the mind. Mind is controlled by the intellect. Intellect is controlled by the Vijnana, by the Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is the expression of Paramatma. Therefore, Vijnanamasi Manasi Antar Bahishchaite Parasparam. Now, Kachid Antarmukha Vritti Ananda Pratibimba Bhag Punya Bhoge Bhoga Shanto Nidra Rupena Liyate. Now, this example which I gave you about the mirror, that comes here. Kachid Antarmukha Vritti. See, here we have to understand second very subtle point. It is called a Vritti. Vritti means thought. What is a thought? If a foreign body goes in our foot, let us take a thorn has gone. And we are not aware, yeah, quit lagao, it's okay. And don't worry about it. And because it is a foreign body, it will start reacting with the tissue. And the tissue, because of the reaction, it will become inflamed. It will become hot. It will become painful. Then what is the way? Remove that. But unless it becomes painful, we are not aware something has gone. If this is understood, exactly the same way, when a foreign body enters the mind, mind gets inflamed. That inflamed mind is called as vritti or the thought. Now the question is, this we understand. A thorn going in the foot, it is a gross, both of them are gross. But how the world enters our mind? The world enters our mind only one way. And that is entry without entrance. Like the reflection in the mirror. Do we enter the mirror? But don't we see ourselves inside the mirror? What is that? It's entry without entrance. See? Now, this principle apply. A boy sees hundreds of girls. They are reflected in his eyes or in his mind. Out of so many girls, he catches hold of one girl. Means what? He has started giving importance to that girl. Without her, I cannot live. Net result, mind is inflamed by giving importance to that particular girl. This is how people fall in love. And when they fall, that fall is called as marriage. And whenever you fall, you get hurt. Therefore, married people are hurt. In England, after my talk, one English fellow asked me, Mr. Swami, you are not married. How come you people don't get married? So before I could say anything, he said, after all, happiness is not everything in life. That day I discovered there are two types of people in this world. Those who are happy and those who are married. Now where from the misery has come? Because that object has entered in the form of value that we give. So how the world enters in our mind? When we give value. See, I tell you my stupidity. I don't know why, and I know it is wrong. Yet, somehow or the other, bags attract my mind. See, now what is the logic? Any bag I see, there is no need. And as a result, we spend lot of time, money, everything on that stupid thing called as a bag. And others are surprised. Swamiji, what is there in the bag? I don't know. Now tell me, what is the logic? See? Therefore, this vritti, this thought, kachit, one rare thought, kachit, antarmukha vritti. One thought which has become introvert. Now be attentive. What is the meaning of thought becoming introvert? It has dropped all that which was holding as important. So when we are having extremely sleepy mode, that time what we do? Hey, come on, no, let me sleep. No, I can't. So we start slowly dropping everything. And then that thought, which is no more extrovert, antarmukha, becomes introvert. And in that introvert thought, ananda pratibimba bhag. And that introvert thought, now there is only bliss that is reflected. Now be attentive again. What is the meaning of bliss? We know blisters. What is bliss? See? This particular thing, meaning of Ananda, best I found explained in Atmaram, one of the book written by Samartha Ramdas Swami. When the experiencer and the experienced, see, idli and the tongue, when they are separate, we are waiting. एक और ले लूँ क्या? But I have already eaten 6. But I should not count, isn't it? They are separate, it is miserable. And when the object of experience and the instrument of experience, they unite, that sense of otherness disappears. In the disappearance of the sense of otherness, that experience is called as bliss or ananda. In deep sleep, we don't have the experience of otherness. Isn't it? And we don't have the sense of incompleteness. Then we merge in the infinite. Therefore, Ananda and Ananta, they are synonymous. Infinite alone can be bliss. Finite are blisters. Infinite is only one. Finite are many. Therefore, Kachit antarmukha vrittihi ananda pratibimba bhag. Now, in that thought, it is not the original ananda, but it is the reflection of the bliss. See? Because any experience which is gathered through the thought is samsara. Any experience you take, it requires operation of the sense organs, mind and intellect. But when it comes to our own being, I am, how do you know? How do you know means I know. But with what? With nose. I think I am there. No. Our presence does not involve operation of any media of knowledge. And therefore, this is pratibimba. It is reflected consciousness, it is reflected bliss, it is not original bliss. See? And then when this happens under following conditions, punya bhoge, sometimes we all experience, sometimes we are just feeling very good for no reason. I don't know, I'm feeling very good today. No logic. Therefore, this is another rule. We get only 2 karma phala, not the third one. Punyasya phalam sukham, papasya phalam dukkham. The success in life is purushartha. It is not prarabdha. Daiva alasi pukara. Don't get carried away by that daiva, or by God's grace. You don't see Mahatmas, you don't go satsang by your prarabdha. But people don't understand this. Vrindavan lady told me, Swami ji, pata nahi kya prarabdha hai, aapse mulaqat ho gayi. And then मेरा भी वही प्रारब्ध है. They here don't understand the meaning. Like, Swamiji, it is okay for you, you have got the sthula buddhi, but we have got a subtle intellect. Now you don't require to go anywhere to be happy. All the cartoons come, you are happy. See, third funny thing. This happened in Assam. One lady was coming, Marwadi lady, coming for satsang. And she took me to her house for food. Lower portion was the hardware shop. The sheets and then the cement and the steel and all kinds of things. And we had to negotiate and go on the first floor. On the cash counter was sitting a man. He took me, Swami, come here. Yes. This body is the husband of this body. So I told that body, I said, this body is the guru of that body. See, many people talk this language. स्वामी जी आपकी बॉडी कहाँ की है पता नहीं. It talk normal, but Vedanta पढ़ा है ना. I am not the body. Hare Dambo. That is not the meaning. So punya bhoge. The earlier good deeds sometimes they surface and you feel happy for no reason. Second is bhoga shantau. Suppose you wanted something to enjoy, you are not getting it, and one day you get it, aha, I got it. See? Bhoga shantam. And third, nidra rupena liyate. And third is the deep sleep. So be attentive. Annamaya kosha is in the waking experience. Pranamaya kosha is in all the experiences, plus waking experience. Manomaya kosha is basically in the dream plus the waking experience. Vijnanamaya kosha is present both in the waking and the dream. And Anandamaya kosha is when you are interacting with the world, you get something of your choice, you are happy. So all the three experiences, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, their Anandamaya kosha expresses in the form of Bhoga Shantam, Punya Bhoge and Nidra Rupena, 3 ways. This is how the Anandamaya kosha is expressing. Now, after having said this, the question comes, so this Anandamaya kosha is Atma because Atma is Ananda. So the teacher says, Kada chitkatva taha na Atma syad Anandamayam api ayam bimba bhuto ya Anandaha Atma sau sarvada sthite. So if we have come to Anandamaya kosha, we should not mistake that Anandamaya kosha is Atma. No, because kadachit, it is not always experience. Sometimes it experience comes and it goes. Therefore, this simple rule I told you, don't forget that rule. Any experience which comes and goes is a trick of the mind. Any experience. I was sitting for meditation and Bhagavan Krishna came and he said, stop it, and went away. From that day onward, I never get meditation. What happened? He told you stop it, so stop it. Any experience. Now be attentive. That doesn't mean these experiences don't happen. You will see different visions. You will have the various sounds. Sometime flute, sometime some musical instrument, sometime shankadhvani. You will also see different lights. All that happens. But this is the trick of the mind. Like in the outer world, the worldly achievements and failures keep us holding on to this world. In the same manner, in the inner world, when you are walking the spiritual path, these are the tricks of the Maya. You will see most of the seekers, they get so much carried away. And then only hallucination, imagination. And everywhere they try to imagine, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. One example I tell you, somewhere they talking about meditation, I happened to go there for no reason. And then they told, now you are walking independently in a dark tunnel, keep walking slowly, keep walking, you can't see anything, don't go left and right, there's only tunnel straight away, keep walking. You have to walk till you reach the gate of the divine. Keep walking, keep walking. He kept talking like this, and then now suddenly the tunnel ends. See the brightness? Now there will be a guiding angel waiting for you. And everybody will have an independent guiding angel. And take his guidance and direction. And after that, when we are sitting for a cup of tea, sit one to one, the two persons on each table, and tell who was your guiding angel and what did he tell you. The one person sitting, Swami, you also say yes. Who was the guiding angel? Amitabh Bachchan. There is no definition of guiding angel. Could be anybody. These are all funs. Don't get carried away by that. See? And the funny part is, we take it as real. So suppose sometime you are you saw some kind of light, then whole life you will be waiting for the light to come. Therefore, to get out of all these experiences, this is the rule. Any experience which comes and goes, okay, over. Is it not? Childhood experiences come and gone. What happened to us? Nothing. Teenage experiences come and gone. So who had that experience? Was it the child or you? Where is the child? Child has disappeared. See, friends. Therefore, kadachit katvadaha na atma syad anandamayapi, then bimba bhuto ya anandaha atma asau sarvada stitehe. So that which was reflecting in the vritti, that is atma. Bimba and pratibimba is what? My face is a bimba, and when I stand before the mirror, what is seen in the mirror is the pratibimba. Two things. Now take the same example. When we stand in front of the mirror and when a bird stands in front of the mirror, what is the difference? We look never at the mirror. We look in the mirror. And we don't look at the reflection. We look at ourselves. See? But when the bird looks, he looks at the mirror, he looks at the reflection, and therefore he takes it to be other than him, and then start fighting and shouting and worried. Where from the other fellow has come? Dvitiyatvai bhayam bhavati. See? Many times it must have happened with you. You are going somewhere, somebody comes from behind and gives you, yar. You get like, oh, it's my friend. The moment you see him, your own friend, all anger disappears. Because there is no otherness, my friend. Therefore, what is the bimba bhuta anandaha? That ananda which does not have the sense of otherness, although there is an appearance of otherness. This you can see because you are all married people in your children. The child is other than the mother. When the child is hungry, the mother is hungry. When the child is crying, the mother is crying. See? Other. No, 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 no. My own extension. Dot prob. You know, dot prob? Problem. See, friend. Therefore, Bimba Bhuto ya Anandaha Atma Asau Sarvada Stitehe. And is under all conditions and is the same. Nanu, now a question is raised. Nanu means a question. Yes, sir. Deham upakramya nidrantananda vastushu mahabhut atmatva anyastu na kaschid anubhuyate. Okay, sir, we agree. All the Panchakoshas are not Atma, we agree. Annamaya kosha drop, Prana may drop, Mano may drop, Vijnana may drop, Ananda may drop. Then nothing remains. This is how the nihilist in Buddhist philosophy they think it. Nothing remains. There was a teacher, he was teaching in our school. He said, there was a frog, little medium big size, and one yellow snake came. He started eating that snake, that frog. Halfway he got tired. That very time, other side, one red snake came. He also started eating that frog. Halfway he got also tired. Then by this yellow snake's tiredness was gone. And then the yellow snake ate the remaining frog and the red snake also. So other than the yellow snake, nothing remained. One child, ma'am, I also saw like that. Yes, tell. It's the same way, yellow and red snake. But my snake, my red snake, when he was tired, he stopped. The yellow snake started, but he also got tired. Then the red snake started. In this manner, both of them ate each other, nothing remained there. How beautiful the story is. So, Annamaya, Pranamaya, everything gone, nothing remained here. See how beautiful it is. So, the teacher takes this question and answers. Madam, you are very intelligent. You are correct. Nidradaya sarve anubhuyante na chetaraha tatha api ete anubhuyante yena tam ko nivaret. You said in the deep sleep, that is in the Anandamaya Kosha, you experience, isn't it? So who experience? We experience. So you are already there. How do you say nothing remains? See? One sentence which I told number of times, work on that one sentence. The sentence is very simple. I had a good sleep, but in between I had bad dreams. Who makes this statement? We make it, isn't it? Who is making this statement? Can the waker make this statement? Waker was not in the deep sleep. Can the waker make this statement? He was not in the dream. Then who makes? See? So the one who was in the deep sleep but was not sleeping. The one who was in the dream but was not a dreamer. And the one who is making the statement, he is not a waker. How loosely we miss the opportunity to discover the truth. For this, I told you a technique, if you remember. Sounds we hear. By what? By ears. But we also experience the silence. Ears cannot experience sounds, rather silence. But we do experience silence. Who is experiencing silence? So what will be the conclusion? The one who is experiencing the presence of the sound as well as absence of the sound. Who must be he? He who is beyond presence and absence. See, friends. And therefore be attentive. Do we have an option that I am or I am not? We can never experience our absence. If that is true, is it necessary to tell that I am? When there is no possibility of absence, is it necessary to say that it is present? Therefore, the truth is beyond present and absent. Ganeshwar Maharaj says, जाणीव नेणीव भगवंती नाही. Knowledge and ignorance both are absent in the truth. Existence and non-existence both are absent in the absolute. And therefore, you even cannot say Paramatma is. When there is no possibility of absence, what is the need of telling present? Therefore, it is said here, Badam nidradaya sarve anubhuyante na itaraha tatha api ete anubhuyante yena. Who is experiencing all these three planes of consciousness, of experiences, not consciousness, tam ko nivared. How can you deny that? See? Now here I will tell you a little more deep. Be attentive. Waking experience happens in the intellect. Dream experience happens in the mind. Deep sleep experience happens in the ahankar. And the samadhi experience happens in the chitta. What we call antakaran chatushte, mana buddhi chitta ahankar. Therefore, waking experience is logic predominant. Everything is why. Dream experience is mind predominant. Therefore, all chaos. You can dream anything. There is no logic behind it. Anything you can dream. In the deep sleep, ahankar is holding the body. Here, ahankar is not ego. Ahankar is a tattva, because of which the five great elements do not disintegrate. Therefore, in deep sleep, the hair grows, the digestion continues, everything continues. That is because of the principle of ahankar, antakaran, chatushtai. And in the samadhi, it is the chitta. Therefore, if somebody asks, hey, get me a cup of tea quickly, and he gets into samadhi before the tea comes. So, what does disciple will do? Keep the tea covered. And then that Mahatma wakes up from the samadhi after 2 years. When he wakes up, first thing he will ask, where is my cup of tea? The last thought is frozen. Therefore, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, they belong to the mind, not to consciousness. That is the real meaning of I. In Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Bhagavan says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. I am the heart of everyone. And what do you do there? Mattaha, because of me. Jnanam, waking. Smruti, dream. Apohanam, deep sleep. Chakarat, samadhi. Because of me, 4 things are supported. And this I, sarvaihi vedaihi ahameva vidya, this has to be known. Who is this I? See? And once we know this, will we be surprised waking has come and gone, dream? We are not surprised about this thing. But in the waking, something happens, we are surprised. Oh, I didn't know. See, I was going and I just crossed and the tree fell. Thank God it didn't fall on me. There we started. Kya hoga, kya hoga, what could you? Oh, I went to that temple that day. So that God must have come here and held the tree back. And you get logic, and get lost in that. Such people are constantly waiting for some chamatkar to happen. Is it a short chamatkar? In spite of our foolishness, we are still alive. Don't get carried away by all these things. They happen. I don't deny that. It does happen. But that is not the truth. See? Therefore, स्वयमेवानुभूतित्वान् विद्यते नानुभव्यता ज्ञातृज्ञानान्तरा भावान् अज्ञेयो न तु असत्तया. Now, when it is said, स्वयं एव अनुभूतित्वात् vidyate na anubhavyata. Now this is another important principle. All that we know is experience of idli, experience of tea, experience of cold, experience of anger, experience of success. Remove these offs. Therefore, experience without experiencer is the truth. One person doing this what you call vipassana in Houston, it happened. He asked me, Swamiji, I have been doing meditation for so many years. They talk about experience of consciousness. What exactly it is like? I said, your understanding is wrong. There is no experience of consciousness. Consciousness is experience. Our problem is our habit and education to ourselves. We have always learned to know objectively. Objectivity in knowledge is the obstacle on the spiritual evolution. And you can simply understand this. Your eyes can see everything. They cannot see themselves. Have we ever seen our eyes? One girl in a college, she said, yes, I have seen. Acha, show me, I also try. She took, from the purse, she took out her mirror. See, I can see. I said, hey, you are so intelligent, yaar. I accept my defeat. Now do one thing for my sake. Take the kajal and put in the eye that you are seeing. What you are seeing in the mirror is the reflection, not the eye. See? Now why this happens is only we have trained ourselves to be objective in our understanding. Therefore, those who are educated, then scientific minded, they will always fail. They have to drop that objectivity. Because what is objectivity? Cause and effect. Okay, suppose I know I am Brahman. What will happen? I say you stop asking questions. Do you have a question about your existence? Excuse me, tell me whether I am there or not. Not only you are there, man, but you are a fool of the highest order. Thank you. See, my friends. Therefore, here the teacher says, Swayam eva anubhutitvat. Self is not the experience of the self. There is no God realization. See? So, anubhutitvat na anubhavyata, and therefore it cannot be an object of experience. See? Therefore, one of the most important thing is this. Don't give any value to any experience which comes and goes. So what experiences have come and gone? Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyati. Childhood has come and gone. Don't give importance to that. But you will see the old fellows. When we were children, where it happened recently? Dallas. Swamiji, I went to somebody's house, a huge mansion, something like 6,000 square feet. So, Swamiji, in our childhood, I was staying in a chal, in a that small place where the dog is sleeping. That was the place I was sleeping in my whole childhood up to the college and all that thing. Therefore, so for him, the childhood is a reality. If he has this wisdom, anything which comes and goes, who cares? You are the same. But what happens? The parents live their own childhood through their children. During our childhood, we never had even shoes to go to school and all that. Therefore, for my son, there is a shoe shop. Go and beta sit there. See, friends. These are some simple things. And we just come and gone, forget about it. So, childhood has gone, nothing happened to us. Teenage has come and gone, nothing happened to us. Middle age has come and gone, nothing happened to us. This old age will go, nothing will happen to us. This knowledge gives us freedom from the fear of death. Nobody is miserable because of death. We are miserable because of fear of death. See? Suppose I die here. I don't have to worry. Your problem. Ab kya kare? This was not in the retreat. अब क्या करे इसको? यही मरना था. For me, relax, meditation. See, and therefore, let us remove that thing from the head. Something has come and gone. No, it is not objective. Then the reason is Jnatru Jnana Antara Bhavat Adneyaha. It cannot be an object of knowledge and therefore not knowable. See. Therefore, it's not absent, natu asattaya. It's not because it is not you are not experiencing. No, it cannot be gathered through the Triputi. Triputi is the three aspects in the knowledge. Knower, known, knowledge. Three. Therefore, this truth is Jnatru Jnanantara Bhavar Adneyo Natu Asattaya. After having said this thing, now the teacher says, Madhuryadi Svabhavanam Anyatra Swagunarpinam Swasmin Tad Arpanapeksha Nona Chet Anya Arpakam. Suppose you are preparing Rasgulla. Now, Rasgulla is made out of, I don't know what, out of what it is made? Milk. The milk by itself is not sweet. So, we spoil the milk and make something out of that milk and we call it as a Rasgulla. I don't know how people like that. It's so like, a rat has fallen in something, you squeeze it and throw it away. All those who eat Rasgulla, eat like that and they squeeze it. Aha! And they never eat biting it. The whole thing goes Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna. Dirty fellows. Now, that Rasgulla does not have sweet of its own. So we have to borrow sweet. So the sweetness of the Rasagulla is borrowed. But the sweetness of the sugar is not borrowed. Its own. Exactly the same way. So, Swasmitar Tad Arpanapeksha Na. So the sugar does not want addition of sweetness unless you are a Gujarati. Do you know Gujaratis? They add sugar on the good before eating. So that which is sweet of its own doesn't require any external sweetness. In the same manner, in our being is not dependent on anything. Our existence is independent. See? Now I'll give a small technique. Colors and forms are in front of my eyes. If there are n number of colors and forms, I see them. If we add more, does it become a burden to the eyes? No. Like we are seeing the mountains here outside. So when we see the mountain, "Arey baap re, bhari hai yaar." This doesn't happen. And if everything is taken away, there is no loss. अरे कुछ है ही नहीं देखने को? No. See? Therefore, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, vision is not dependent on the colors and forms. The same rule for all the sense organs. Then, eyes are closed. Is it a loss to the mind? Mind is independent of the sense organs. Then, intellect is independent of the mind. See? And then, the Anandamaya Kosha is independent of the intellect. Then, Chetana, life, is independent of all these fellows, 5 of them. If the life departs from here, it is still in other places. If one bulb is fused, nothing happens to the light in other bulbs. See? Independent. And that which is expressing as life, that absolute truth, is independent of everything. And therefore, this is Nirvishesha Satta. Therefore, we have been telling again and again, real spiritual practice is not becoming extraordinary. Drop all extra. Remain commoner than the commonest. We don't have to become someone great. No. Whenever we become someone great, it is ice cube. You take a handful of ice cubes and put in a jar. Everybody has got its own personality. And when all of them melt, become water, so much happy with it, comfortable. Now the water is comfortable in every place. Let it be a petri dish, tube, test tube, or a capillary tube. Water is comfortable, no problem. But whenever we are extra, we want a special status. This is how, under the disguise of spirituality, we propagate samsara. One must discard all that. See? Therefore, arpakantara rahityepi astesham tatsvabhavata ma bhut tatha anubhavyatvam bodhatma tu nahiyate. Therefore, although there is no need for any other sweetness source for the sugar, because it is sweet of its own, in the same manner, because sweetness is svabhava, it is the essential nature of the sugar. In the same manner, ma bhut tatha anubhavyatvam. So let there be no experience of the self. Because bodhatma, the experience itself is the self. All struggle in your life will disappear. Therefore, don't try to understand. There is nothing to understand. Understanding happens through intellect and through the sharpness of the intellect and to the quiet quality of the intellect. If the intellect is sharp but frustrated, then ulta samjhenge. They will not understand straight. And the fact is, न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति न मनः न विद्मः न विजानीमः यथा एतत् अनुशिष्य. None of your faculties have entry into the absolute. Therefore, one of the words used is tanmatra. The five great elements have got five tanmatras. Space, shabda. Air, the touch. Then the fire, the form. Then the water, the taste. And earth, the smell. But instead of taking the smell only, we add special status. Good smell, bad smell. Taste, taste only. No. More sugar, less sugar. More salt, less salt. See. Rupa, any form. No. Green, yellow, white, blue. Shabda, any sound. No. Oh. There is only. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Pranavaha sarva vedeshu shabdakhe paurusham drishu. I am not only Omkar in the Vedas, but any sound I am. Then all the specialities will disappear. Matra means only. Tanmatra, that only. What is Tan? That Paramatma. This non-specific experience is abidance in the truth. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.